Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about one of the houses in my house series, The Secrets of the Houses, and that is the 9th house. This is the house that is the house of luck and blessings. We love to have planets in the 9th house. Plus, it deals with spirituality and truth. And what's better than that? That's why we're looking at Vedic astrology, right? So, one more thing. Remember this book, Astrology, the Divine Order of the Universe. Everything I'm talking about is in here. It looks at Bhavat Bhavam, the house to house, why we come up with these magical numbers that make astrology what it is. And one more thing, my book, this is my textbook for my university, which you will be interested in checking out. If you're wanting to really learn Vedic astrology, it is called Eastern Astrology for Western Minds. And check out my university if you want to take this to the next level. And that is universityofvedicastrology.com. So let's talk about the 9th house. Wow, what a great house. They say that any planets that are in the 9th house are pretty blessed. But another thing is the 9th house is the house of the father. So it rules our father, and planets there can depict many, many things about our father for good and bad. But it's also the house of higher learning. And as I said before, luck and blessings, we love that. So you're very fortunate with planets in the 9th house. But higher learning is very important, and traveling, long distance world travel, that's part of the 9th house. Opening up and seeing the world from a whole different perspective. It's a wonderful, wonderful house of great aspiration. Remember, this is a Dharma house. And what is Dharma? Dharma deals with our purpose, our sense of inspiration, because the Dharma houses are relative to the fire signs. If you consider in the natural zodiac, the first sign relative to the first house is Aries, the 5th sign relative to the natural zodiac is Leo, and the 9th sign relative to the natural zodiac is Sagittarius, which Sagittarius is all about that aspiring to the truth, to laws of the universe, of how to grow and explore the world. So it's also the house of law, and many people, this is like man-made laws, and many people can even be lawyers or something to deal with the legal system. But taking it to the higher level, they could be philosophers, they could be spiritualists, they can be religious leaders. I think the Pope right now has 4 planets in the 9th house. They really aspire to finding the truth, whether it's through religion or spirituality. That's what they're all about. Finding the truth. So this is the 9th house, and it deals with long distance travels, where the 3rd house deals with short distance travels. The 9th house deals with long distance travels. 3rd house deals with lower education, whereas the 9th house deals with college, professors. And when people have a lot of planets in powerful planets, Jupiter, a prominent Jupiter, they may be a professor at a university, or they could even be a spiritual teacher. So all of these things come under the headlines of the 9th house, whether they're in the law, the profession of the law, they're teachers, professors, spiritualists, religious. They essentially need to know the truth. And they love to give it back in the area of teaching. They can be very strong with their beliefs. This is the house that deals with our beliefs, what we believe in and why, our truths. This is powerful. And remember, not only does it deal with our father, but it deals with our teachers. Maybe not we're us being the teacher, but it can deal with our professors we have at school. And teachers all around that give us guidance. And it is the house that deals with philanthropy, where you give of yourself and money to others to make it a better world, because this is the only thing that's right and just. because this is the house that deals with values in terms of justice, fairness, the law, and of course virtues, being honest, being truthful. This is the qualities of the ninth house. But talking about bhavam, which, you know, when you repeat the house to house, one thing that you cannot undermine or forget, that the ninth house is the fifth house from the fifth house. Let's go to the fifth house. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9. What does that mean? Your children's children. This is the house of grandchildren. And you will see that when Jupiter transits through the ninth house and you're of the age where there's a possibility of having grandchildren, that's the time it always happens. It does. It's just really incredible how this all works. So the ninth house is our grandchildren. And it can even be your husband or your wife's sibling. Why? It's the third from the seventh. 7, 8, 9. So if your husband or your wife has a great relationship with a sibling, maybe there's a good planet there. But not so good, maybe there's, you know, Mars Rahu there or something like that. That would really denote that your spouse has problems with siblings. Plus, you'd probably have some problems with your father. So malefics in the ninth house doesn't do any favors. One thing that's kind of throws you for a loop, though, you would think that the sun in the ninth house would be great for the father. It's actually not. Putting the karaka for a house in a house is actually overload and actually not all that good. So be cautious about getting excited about Jupiter being in the fifth or the sun in the ninth or Mars in the third. These are the karakas for those houses. And it actually disrupts the house wherever it deals with concerning the people it rules. So people, not necessarily all other areas. So the ninth house is this house that can deal with our mind in terms of learning and spirituality and travel. But I also love how it does deal with grandchildren. This is definitely put a dimension into my readings that I didn't have before, not understanding that it represents grandchildren. I'll never forget one time my sister, we went to her youngest, she has 4 kids, and we went to her 4th child's wedding. And the 3 other siblings went, and every single one of them, it was in Hawaii, got pregnant. So she had 3 grandbabies coming when Jupiter transited the ninth house. That's just a wonderful thing. And, you know, it can even be sometimes the house of retirement, letting go of certain things, because it is the 12th from the 10th. Yes, so be aware of that. And because of that, it would deal with traveling, long distance travel, as letting go of the career, moving on to something different. And sometimes when a planet is in a house right before the house it's about to go into, it causes the losses of that house because a new beginning is about to happen. So if Jupiter or Saturn's in the ninth house, maybe it's the end retirement of a career job, but by the time Jupiter or Saturn come into the 10th house, there's a new one. So it's like an ending before a beginning. So that is all the qualities I wanted to share with you on this wonderful, fiery Dharma inspirational house, the ninth house, which, you know, in Vedic astrology, it is the house of good luck and fortune, Bhagi-bhava. So that's what I'll leave you with. Remember, you can always check out my university by going to University of Vedic Astrology.com and sign up for my free newsletter on my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Thank you.